Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing on this late Thursday evening? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and yes, we are back to our weekly live streams of Monday Night Raw. Of course, we have this week, and then next week is we're taking a break from the Raw and SmackDown reviews to preview Money in the Bank, and so back to that, but I need a little bit of a breather, so that's why for 2 weeks I did just Raw and SmackDown reviews recorded, and I did Saturday Night's Main Event live for review. But I feel pretty good, so I'm going to come back to doing the live streams again, the once a week live streams as I've promised. So we're going to review this past week's Monday's episode of Monday Night Raw, the May 26th, 2025 edition. This was the Memorial Day edition of Monday Night Raw, and it took place like Saturday night's main event at the Yuengling Center in Tampa, Florida. It felt like a quick show. If I'm being honest, it felt like a quick show. There wasn't a ton that really happened on this episode. I mean, there were some things that happened, some things that were good, but I got nitpicks about it. But now we have Saturday night's main event in the rearview mirror. Money in the Bank, is shaping up. I did post my Money in the Bank printed match card, and I know it's probably going to be completely wrong, but I literally gave up on trying to come up with a good card for that before it was too late. Surprisingly, it's got, 200 views on it so far, so I'm surprised, because it's definitely not one of my best ones, but I got it out there. We, of course, had more qualified matches for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match on Raw. We also had another title match with Lyra, Valkyria, and Becky Lynch announced. And, of course, the other match that's made official at this time is a tag match with John Cena and Logan Paul taking on Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. But Gunther is lurking in Jey Uso's rearview mirror as he is going to be challenging Jey for the World Heavyweight title on the June 9th episode of Raw. So, we're going to roll in, talk about all the stuff that happened, talk about things I liked, things I didn't like, and we are going to go from there. I will have 2 videos that will be published after this review. One of them is another Wolfenstein commercial. The other one is a little treat of a video game Let's Play. You'll see what it is, of course, if you're a fan of this franchise, whenever I do post the video. But those are basically uploaded as drafts right now on YouTube, and they will be posted after this review. So without further ado, let's check the live chat before we get started here. And we've got Tyler in the live chat. Thank you, Tyler. He thinks Seth is winning Money in the Bank. No doubt about it, yes. I think Seth Rollins qualified for Money in the Bank. I'm pretty sure he's going to win it. And he's going to become more and more like CM Punk, because he'll be the first person to cash in successfully. No, I'm sorry. He'll be the third person to successfully cash in Money in the Bank twice, because both CM Punk and The Miz have done that. Oh, no, wait. Fourth, because Edge has done it twice as well. Yeah, because he originally did win Money in the Bank in 2007, but then when Mr. Kennedy got hurt, he had to take the title off of him. He had to take the briefcase off him, I'm sorry. We also have Baxter saying hi. Hello, Baxter. Thank you for joining us here live. So without further ado, not going to waste time. We're going to get right into the review, and we're going to talk about it as well. I guess have any other wrestling topics you want me to talk about, let me know in the live chat. So like I said, this episode of Raw wasn't super long. It was effective. Again, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like must-see television. It was effective for what it was, I thought. Some good. Something there, I have to nitpick a little bit on a few things, but we'll talk with them when we get to them. So, we opened up with Seth Rollins and company coming in. With Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. We do get a recap of Bronson Reed's return at Saturday night's main event, helping Seth Rollins' faction win. They're in the ring, and then Paul Heyman puts Braun Breaker over as the man of the future. The guy who's going to main event the next dozen WrestleManias. Bronson Reed's a man who WWE management and top tier talent here were afraid of because he's too reckless. A violent man in PG era who's going to put everyone down in front of him. And then we have so Reed then took the initiative and targeted the franchise player and the future of the industry, Seth Rollins. And one night, he put a worse beating on Seth Rollins than Roman Reigns or CM Punk ever could. So Paul continues to put him over as the be-all, end-all WWE today and demands for the crowd to acknowledge him. Seth, of course, says this is his vision, the way forward, how they secure the future of the industry, total control, total domination, complete power. And the crowd's chanting, "You sold out" at him, but he's like, yo, I haven't changed. And he told us what he was going to do, and he did it. We had FU Rollins chants going as well, and then Seth explodes on them for changing gears so fast. From singing a song to saying profanity and questioning his integrity. He's the only person who can handle the power here, and power here is championships. And if it wasn't for Sami Zayn and CM Punk, he would be standing here as your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And here's discovered the object that lets him control the fate of that destiny, which is Money in the Bank. And he plans on winning his qualifier in the main event. He'll win the Money in the Bank briefcase. And he's going to cash in whenever he wants and however he wants, on whomever he wants. Nobody will be able to stop him. This is complete domination. Total power. And that's why he is a revolutionary, a visionary, and he is Seth freaking Rollins. So they continue to play this group with Seth Rollins, which some people are saying that they seem to be calling this group the Vision, which I'm cool with. This feels like those I keep saying, Seth Rollins playing like the Monday Night Messiah again, except Triple H's version of it. And I call himself the Monday Night Messiah. Again, I think, it's Seth Rollins basically saying, I got nothing to lose, but I haven't had my moment where I truly was the number one guy in the company. Obviously, when he did, finally get over, because again, he did have the big push in 2019 in the main event scene, but he cracked under the pressure. He did excellent with the World Heavyweight Championship in 2023 and 2024, but he hasn't. Now he was overshadowed though by Roman, who was still the top guy. So now it's his turn, of course, to try to be the most dominating guy in the industry for sure. The only problem I had with this promo, I still didn't get a good explanation as to why Bronson Reed is teaming with Seth Rollins, even though he took out Seth Rollins right before he got taken out due to injury. So I would have liked a little more explanation on that, but it is what it is. We will see where it goes. So it's a good opening promo there. We had the first of our two qualifying matches. The first one had some Lucha Libre in it. We had Penta versus Dragon Lee versus the man who is struggling to beat the Luchadors, Chad Gable. Not El Grande Americano, but Chad Gable. Man, this was a absolutely fantastic match. All three of these men looked excellent. Dragon Lee especially, I feel like they've kind of put the cuffs a little bit on Dragon Lee. But in this match, probably his best main roster match. That dive he did to the outside, I believe it was on Chad, into the table, looked like he was a shooting bullet right into Chad Gable. He just flew out there and just like it full on. Heck, you know what it looked like also, I would say? When Big E used to do that spear through the ropes and onto the floor. Except Dragon Lee got a ton more height on it. But some great back and forth in there. Great counters, great maneuvers. All three of these men are awesome. Chad Gable, though, had El Hijo del Vikingo at ringside. And they did announce that that's going to be one of the matches for Worlds Collide next Saturday for NXT and AAA. That distraction leads to Penta eventually getting the victory over Chad Gable, which Chad did get busted open by Del Vikingo's kick. Another thing that I was pointing out, though, too, was when they showed the graphic for the match with Del Vikingo and Gable, they said it was for AAA's world title. And last I knew, Alberto Del Rio had that. So although I've heard the rumors that Del Rio's one of those AAA stars who have signed a WWE contract, I guess they're not going to be, playing completely cool with him, I guess. Because it looks like the Del Vikingo will be world champion for AAA going into the pay-per-view next Saturday. Which is good because I do not want Del Rio back on WWE television. I don't want him to stop Saraya from coming back to WWE if that is in fact what she's doing. And I just don't like the guy, period. So, just wanted to throw that little fun fact out there that I myself and several others noticed. But yeah, definitely the best part of the show is this match. Is that luchador match for sure for the qualifiers for Money in the Bank. This I love. So we have back in the Judgment Day Clubhouse, everybody's playing 2K25. When Roxanne Perez rolls up, she was introduced to Judgment Day last week by Finn Balor. And Roxanne rolls in, goes to Dom, and offers him a plate of chicken nuggets. So with Liv Morgan, it was chicken tendies. Roxanne's getting him with the chicken nuggets. To which Dom accepts. And then she goes, oh, you look like you're a little tense. You might need a little massage on the shoulder. She starts massaging his shoulder. But then, out of nowhere, Liv Morgan makes her return. She was off for a few weeks because she was filming a movie over in Japan. So Roxanne tries to introduce herself, but Liv wants nothing to do with it and asks Daddy Dom, what's going on? But he's saying it's all fine, and Raquel says she's been keeping her informed. Some things have been very interesting, and she'll address that later, but she's going to go to Adam Pearce as she wants to get in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. We didn't find out if she did or not. But Dom asks if it's great to have Liv back, and everyone agrees except for Carlito. Tells him he's got to stop trying to eat Roxanne's nuggets. Awkward moment there, of course, too. But you notice something, though. Someone who was smiling during this whole time, and even a few other moments during this night, is Finn Balor. Finn Balor is secretly trying to get his revenge on Dominik Mysterio. Especially, of course, trying to, get him distracted by the women. Who knows how much he loves chicken. But, of course, will Dom easily dump Liv for Roxanne? Or could it be a case where, Roxanne tricks Dominik and Dominik loses everything? My only issue again with this feud, though, is still the fact that they're both heels. And right now, they both don't have any reason for me to want to see one of his faces. Dom is way too good as a heel. And Finn Balor hasn't won a match in God knows how long. So why should I have any babyface sympathy for him? So we'll see where, of course, that goes. I mean, again, it's interesting, but also the dynamic makes me question, wait, which way are we really going with this? But Finn Balor is having Roxanne help him, secretly make Dom's life miserable. But that is what it is as well. Akira Tozawa got absolutely squashed by Rusev. And afterwards, Sheamus came out, had a stare down. So we're doing Sheamus and Rusev in a feud. Sounds awesome to me. That would be... Heck, honestly, if they wanted to give Sheamus the Intercontinental title anytime soon, they could do a good IC title feud with Sheamus and Rusev. Just saying. We also have some backstage interviewers mentioning how they had Cody Rhodes on their podcast, so now they're going to have a great time here. Forgot what they're... Oh, yeah, Brett Kreischer and Tom Segura. Don't really care about them, but, you know, he does the little plug and whatnot. And had a little run-in with the War Raiders, who are getting ready for their triple threat tag match. Sami Zayn was backstage, though. He was also cutting a promo, how he had stayed here and Seth Rollins talk, and he should have been out there to do something. But then Jay appears and asks him for what? To run into a 3-on-1 odds? They have to be smart. And if Sami wants to take the power, he needs to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, as he was in the third qualifying match with him, Seth, and Finn. Jay says he's got his back, Sami accepts, and they do their secret handshake. New Day did retain over the Creed Brothers and War Raiders in a good triple threat match. New Day can do retain. I still, though, wonder, though, just a nitpick again, why is Chad Gable not upset with Ivy Nile and Creed Brothers for not having any titles when he went away on that sabbatical to learn how to beat the Luchadors, and he told them they better have titles when he gets back? They haven't won any, and they haven't really addressed that. So, little loophole there, just wanted to mention there. Backstage, we have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. They run into Io and Kairi, and they mock them, saying, "Is this a Damage Control reunion?" But Io tells her to keep walking, and then Liv says she's going to keep walking right into Adam Pearce's office and get herself into a qualifying match, and she can do what Kairi couldn't do, is win Money in the Bank. And then Kairi Sane challenges her to a match. We get that later on in the show. Before we got that, though, we had a segment with Jey Uso and Gunther. Jey was trying to recap his week before getting interrupted by Gunther, who came out to first congratulate Jey. And this one comes from a very personal place. He congratulates him on 15 years of the Usos in the company. Congrats on his first successful title defense. And he's right there whenever his friends need help. And that's great for a human being, but terrible quality for a champion. He doesn't blame Jey. He doesn't know better, and being a champion doesn't come natural to him. He was able to be champion for almost a year because he's the only person he cares about. And if he's fully honest, he doesn't think Jey has the intellect to carry himself as a great champion. And he will take that away from him in 2 weeks in Arizona. And Jey was kind of like, "Yo, you done? Because I'm done with everybody saying my days as champ are numbered. I'm done with everybody using the title as an excuse to turn their back on the people that brought them up. He's a real one. He's got friends and family, and they fight for him, and he fights for them. Gunther wants to run his mouth on his life and judge him? Go ahead, because all is said and done in 2 weeks, he retained the title." So that's just a simple promo they'll put over their match in 2 weeks. A lot of people are thinking that's when Goldberg makes his return to set up his retirement match with Gunther. We'll see. Like I said, I'm glad they, even though there was some interference, they did give Jey Uso a decently clean victory at Saturday Night's main event. It would be nice for him to have a few more, being honest, good victories as champion. But I mentioned my piece as to where I think Jey is going as champion. He's either dropping a title to Logan Paul or Seth Rollins, no doubt about it. But Liv had a match with Kairi Sane, and match was good, but then Roxanne Perez came out and tried to help, but then her and Raquel bicker, and then off of distraction, Kairi wins the schoolboy roll-up. So obviously, Liv was not happy about that. Rhea has a video package about her getting back on top and being in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Liv was furious backstage, and Raquel tried to blame Roxanne, but Liv tells her that she's the veteran and she has some to blame as well. Which again, you see Finn getting this huge smile in the background. He's manipulating. Okay, then we have Lyra Valkyria. So I'm not going to go on a broken record and say my opinions on Lyra Valkyria, which again, I always continue to say she's an excellent talent. Character-wise, she needs to improve. And the past few promos she's had, I feel like Becky has kind of set her up for the promo. Where this one, it felt like Lyra was setting Becky up for the promo, because she started the promo. I don't know if we've seen that really happen before but this past week, but yeah, you could tell in this promo, the way she cut it and the things she was saying, she still needs some more work on the microphone. That line she used of like the best thing for Becky is her husband, unfortunately did not work. Because Becky, honestly, I can still say that Becky Lynch, even though he's accomplished a lot too, I feel like Becky's a little more higher on a totem pole star-wise than Seth. So that's kind of like not a good look there as well. But they did set up their match for Money in the Bank, and they added stipulations in where if Lyra retains, Becky can no longer challenge for the Intercontinental title as long as Lyra's champion. And also, though, if Becky wins, then Lyra needs to raise Becky's hand, just like Becky did whenever Lyra beat her for the women's NXT championship like a year or two ago was. So we'll see where that goes. I was kind of hoping they would hold off on that till maybe like Night of Champions or Evolution 2, but we still could, though. We'll have to wait and see. Karrion Kross has a backstage segment where he's trying to get into the head of Sami Zayn. He goes, I'll deal with you later. And then we had the main event, which is Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, and Finn Balor for the next Money in the Bank qualifying match. Match was great between all these guys as usual. But of course, Seth Rollins' crew does interfere. Jay tries to help out, but doesn't work out there either. And Seth Rollins would eventually hit a blackout on a steel chair to Finn Balor, and he qualifies for the Money in the Bank ladder match. And it's probably the favorite to win the men's one. Afterwards, though, also CM Punk, who was originally announced as not there, did come out and try to get some revenge on Seth, but Seth does break away. And that is how the show ends. So, again, overall, a good show. Like I said, it was kind of short. It felt kind of short, which is good. Again, a couple little nitpicks I'd mentioned in there, but overall, again, it's a cool down period. It's still good. It makes sense. They're trying to tell good stories. I gave the show a B, in my opinion. Gave the show a B, and before I go off the air, let me check on the live chat. Tyler says, stop giving Rhea title reign shots. She better not win the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't think she should, to be honest. I don't think she will. My pick still is if she qualifies tomorrow on SmackDown. I still think Naomi's my pick to win right now. We also got Dakota in there saying Seth isn't winning Money in the Bank. He thinks LA Knight is. That'd be cool, but I don't really see a direction for LA Knight does Money in the Bank. But that could be that. He thinks Punk will screw Seth. That's very likely as well. I could definitely see that happening, but we'll see, of course, where that goes. Thoughts on Cody beating Cody at SummerSlam and then Knight cashing in and beating Cena. I mean, an LA Knight and John Cena match I wouldn't be opposed to, but I don't know. Like I there's always that one briefcase every year that feels like it just gets tossed to the side really quickly. Like last year, what they did with Drew, and I don't want that to happen again. Like I said, I love LA Knight, but I just don't see a reason for him to get the world title right now. I don't see him in that spot right now, if I'm being honest. Tyler thinks should just get rid of Money in the Bank. I don't think they should get rid of it completely, but I'm starting to feel like it's something that they don't need to do every single year. So taking a break from it could be that. AEW is cold as hell. Don't even get me started. After Money in the Bank, I'll get back to reviewing Raw and SmackDown. Cool. AEW is cool. The only one I care about is Hangman. Of course, Hangman. I'll be honest, that is probably one of the only things that when I have it on as background noise, Dynamite, the only thing that I'm really stopping to hear is Hangman's promos because of how good they've been lately. Fire Logan Paul, I wish. And the Judgment Day, I wish they would. Io is the best wrestler on the main roster. Good analogy there. Do you think Randy Orton will pass Cena by the end of his career in titles? I don't know. I'm going to maybe say he comes up short. I don't know. I just don't feel like they're going to go out of his way to give him the title reigns right now, in my opinion. I hope we get more AJ versus Cena match. I think we will, hopefully. Do you think Javon Evans will win a world title? I don't watch much NXT, but do you know who Javon Evans is? Maybe. I think he will at least get the NXT title, but main roster, we'll see. Still kind of early to determine that. But yeah, thank you both to Tyler and Dakota for joining me live really quickly here. Again, it was kind of a quick live stream, but effective. And again, I thought Raw was good. It gave the B. I got a SmackDown review coming up this weekend as well. Again, that will be recorded. And again, after the stream is over, I am going to publish 2 videos. One is my next Wolfenstein 3 commercial. And the other one is a one-game Let's Play that I never did when I did the other games I have in this series years ago. So I'm going to post that as well. So, yep. Just stay tuned as long as more content on the channel. I'm still working, of course, on the best and worst match series as well for each year as a wrestling fan. I'm currently editing the audio from 2022's lists. So that's where I'm at currently. And hopefully soon I'll get to start dressing them up. And hopefully soon I'll get to start publishing those as well. Again, they're definitely a work in progress, but you know, it is what it is. So, guys, what are your thoughts on Raw? This, again, it gave the show a B. Please let us down in the comment section below and slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well, The Club of the Man 93. You may also follow me on Instagram at The Club of the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'm tired and I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys all later and have a great rest of your night. And do not forget as well, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And also don't forget to eat some chicken nuggets as well. And that is not a pain, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!